17 men from Burkina Faso dressed in army uniforms have been arrested in Wuru in the Sisala East district. Now,
the leadership of Ghana must make an effort to tighten the security at our various borders.
Hi guys, welcome back again to another video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to watch my videos. If this is your first time here, my name is Uju. You are welcome to Uncut with Uju. Don't make it your last by subscribing. Major breaking news. Over 17 heavily armed Burkina Faso soldiers were arrested, setting up combat positions in Ghanaian territory. This has caused a lot of curiosity on social media space. A lot of Ghanaians were using their platform to beg their government that it is right time they close up their borders, not just against Nigerians at this point, but against foreigners. Imagine if these guys were not arrested. What would have been the case of Ghana today? As always, I was able to put together a lot of videos how people were still reacting, and I can't wait to share. Kindly watch these videos and let me know what you think in the comments. I'll be reading.
Did 17 soldiers from Burkina Faso really just cross over into Ghana? Well, that's what multiple Ghanaian news outlets are saying. Allegedly, they were armed with grenades, sandbags, and heavy weapons. They were spotted by Wuru near Upper West border. So the story is that locals clocked it, Ghanaian forces moved in, and the men were detained. And then they were quietly sent back. There's no BBC, Reuters, or AFP coverage, but City Newsroom, MyJo Online, and Yen all reported it. And international outlets sometimes move slow on African stories that don't go viral. That's why we asked the questions. So, according to the story, the men told Ghanaian officials that they were Burkinabe soldiers on routine patrol who got lost. But there's no official statement from Burkina Faso's government, no ownership, no apology, and a lot of silence. And in this region, silence isn't neutral. Some say it was a mistake, others think it could be a tactic, a soft probe to maybe test Ghana's response, not to invade, but to see if we step past the line, will you stop us or will you stay quiet? If you recall, Burkina Faso recently held Nigerian soldiers after an unauthorized landing and called it a violation of sovereignty. But now, with their own soldiers allegedly inside Ghana, no comment. That shift in tone says a lot. And here's the thing. Ghana is peaceful, but not soft. It's actually one of the most stable countries in the region, but it's also part of ECOWAS and one of the last democratic holdouts in a region shifting towards military rule. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have all left the bloc and built their own alliance, pulling closer to Russia. So Ghana's not just defending its own land, it's actually holding the line for the region. And pressure like this could force choices.
first of all, so this just came in. So 17 men from Burkina Faso dressed in army uniforms have been arrested in Wuru in the Sisala East district. Now, according to them, they were soldiers picking coordinates, but they actually lost their navigation and they ended up in Wuru in Ghana. Now, a lot of you may not know this, but terrorism is very, very rampant and very high in Burkina Faso. That's why I understand Akufo-Addo. He saw it, he went and reported Burkina Faso to America. That's why he does not care. Anyways, so the 17 of them were arrested alongside their ammunitions. And so communication started between Ghana and Burkina Faso. Now, the said persons who claim to be soldiers actually said they mistakenly crossed the line into Ghana. Now, I look at them, if you see the people, me say I'm that's whether they are soldiers, because me say I have more muscle mass than them. So there was a communication between the Ghanaian embassy in Burkina Faso and the Ghanaian army. So they called the 17 names of the arrested persons to the Ghana embassy in Burkina Faso. They checked and they found out that yes, they were really in the army. So they were released and their ammunition was given back to them. Anyways, when Akufo-Addo was in power, he did not have a good relationship with Burkina Faso. But since Mahama came, there have been good relationship. All right, so let's see. It's still a developing story though, but they have been released. They have been released because they claim it was a mistake. Their names were confirmed, and it was found out that they are really in the Burkinabe army.
The leadership of Ghana must make an effort to tighten the security at our various borders. The security of this country is at risk. A war is about to happen in a country in West Africa here, and most of the people will be moving to Ghana. There would be a lot of security issues in Ghana. The moment they enter here, there's going to be a lot of security issues in Ghana. Attack on churches, attack on public gatherings and events. So our leaders shouldn't take this as a joke. They must make an effort, and the presidency must make an effort to protect the security of this country, okay? And they should do well to fight against corruption. If not, there will be a lot of attack on them too.
As Fintech Road. On 14 September 2025, the Ghana Police Service received a report of a robbery at the residence of a 35-year-old man at Spintex in Accra. At about 3:25 a.m., broke into the house and robbed the complainant of gold jewelry, a laptop, wristwatches, handbags, clothing, and cash. The amount taken included $5,000 and 21,645 Ghana cedis. Police officers visited the scene where a machete, a metal cutter, and a t-shirt believed to have been left behind by the suspects were retrieved for evidential purposes. The crime scene was documented and investigations commenced immediately. On 18 September 2025, acting on reliable intelligence, the police arrested suspect Nigerian national Jennifer Nweke at Adenta. A search conducted revealed some of the stolen items, including jewelry, mobile phones, and large sums of cash. The suspects later led investigators to their hideout at Agoba, where additional stolen items belonging to the complainants were retrieved. During interrogation, the suspect later led the police to Glefe, a suburb of Dansoman Lastor, where a bag containing 1 Philippine passport and 2 ladies' purses containing business and ATM cards was retrieved. A wrapped black polythene bag containing traveling documents was also found at the scene near a rubbish dump close to a second place of abode. Strenuous efforts are currently underway to trace and arrest other suspects who are currently on the run to face justice. Both suspects are in custody assisting investigations and will be put before the courts upon completion of the processes. The Ghana Police.
In Nigeria, a male can exhibit the criminality of a female, while a female can exhibit the criminality of a male. This means that a male can venture into prostitution, jugalos, and a number of all these things, while a female can venture into stealing, pilfering, part of a group that kidnaps. Yahoo Plus, like internet fraud, females are also there in Nigeria. As we can see, the news states that it is a she that stole from someone. Stealing. You see, when I tell people that identifying with Nigeria automatically, see, let me tell you something. I've always said this thing to people from other African countries. Listen, it is a red flag to see a Nigerian that has the courage to identify with Nigerians, even if that Nigerian has not exhibited criminality. Listen to me. Put your hands towards your ears. Draw your ear for me so that it will enter. So you will not come and say, Ace, you warned me about this. I've heard a number of people say this. Put your hand here, draw your ears. What did I say? I said that it is a red flag to see a Nigerian that identifies or has a crave to identify with Nigerians, even if that Nigerian has not exhibited criminality. What do I mean by this? One of, if not the only evidence in proving that a person totally is irritated, is disgusted at criminality, which means that in the nearest future you would never see such a person exhibit such criminality, which means in the nearest future you can trust such a person not to exhibit criminality. What is the evidence? The evidence is simply on grounds that the person is disgusted at everything about Nigeria and would not even want to identify with any Nigerian. The person would not want to identify with any Nigerian. In strange lands, in foreign lands, the only Nigerian you can trust is that Nigerian who runs away from other Nigerians and would not want to identify with them. That is the only Nigerian that you can trust. Why? Because the integrity in that person is futuristic. The integrity in that person simply, automatically feels disgusted at anything Nigeria. Once you have integrity in you, the evidence is that naturally you cannot have any rapport with Nigerians. You feel okay disassociating yourself with them. You feel peace when you don't relate with them. You feel joy, honest joy. You feel this peace when they are not drawn closer to you. You notice that your circle is very small, very tiny, very, very tiny. It's a question of if people need your help, you just go and offer your help. You understand? Do your thing. It's not because of them, but because this is who you are. You're created to serve humanity. It don't matter whether the person is a Nigerian. It don't matter whether the person is a Kenyan. It don't matter whether the person is a South African. This is who you are. This is what you're nurtured to be, to render services to humanity. And the moment you're done with it, you vamos. You vamos, muchacho. You leave.
so one to yeah, there is no problem. But Obieni Najuma, who feels so Busia Fie, Abusia Pegino, or Niniansa, or Mune, Jomama, Famukoni Busia Pegino, who fear, nobody will challenge you. But we need development as America. We see military the doors. That is what I'm saying. India the transit, not Burkina Faso. A developed it is Dubai, Indonesia, now other countries. So I feel that here Ghanaian, near sorry, say a woman, Akoya Juma or Burkina, military the doors too much. Family issue the doors too much. Family entertainment in the doors too much. Car display doors too much. Oko Kaweya, still Abwanyani, Obi. Say why I nipa or better comment section there criticizing and then any palaru yen me. Yes, Kanya has someone who did. Where are they coming? My name post whoever said Jimmy about the challenge. I'm talking about say all these local countries who discussing about Burkina Yellow. That is what I'm saying.
First of all, let's take our time to give accolades and the flowers to Ghana immigration officers, Ghana police for the job well done, right? Imagine if these guys were not arrested. In as much as 10 Gossips made his researches and he found out that those guys were army soldiers from Burkina Faso, considering the relationship Dramani Mahama had with Burkina Faso's president, Ibrahim Traore, right? He doesn't feel that there's a way these people would hurt Ghana. And remember the last time we had soldiers, Nigerian military personnel in Burkina Faso, these guys were arrested. And after investigation and pleading by the president of Nigeria, they released them. So what he's trying to say is that they made their findings and found out that it was a wrong trespassing, right? And they released them. Because men looking at these people, they don't look like Burkina Faso soldiers. They looked like terrorists. You know, they didn't look like they had more. I know how soldiers look like. And I respect Burkina Faso a lot. Like, I respect Ibrahim Traore a lot. Because if you look at him, you know that he's a military man. So I was expecting different. Those guys, you know, they seized both their bikes. They looked quite irresponsible. So it is okay. Like, I just love the fact that they were arrested last because with the way they portray themselves, nobody would let this kind of people penetrate into their country. But thank God, like I said, thank God that they found out that they were not really, they were not a harm, they wouldn't cause harm in Ghana. But had they been, the Ghana immigration officers in collaboration with Ghana police did not arrest these people. Do you know, like, this actually shows that Ghana is working, irrespective of how people think and, you know, people feeling like they're not working. They are working, because them getting these people arrested is a good sign. To be very honest, in certain countries, they would have penetrated, and in as much as they made their findings and found out that it wasn't like they weren't a terror to Ghana. What if they were actually terror to Ghana? Like, that makes sense. So thank God it ended in praise. Thank God that they have been, you know, released and sent back. And we will not still forget the fact that people are still trooping into Ghana, and it is right time they start tightening up their borders. It is right time they start like being extra cautious, because a lot of things is going on. And the video that I shared where this guy was saying that Ghana needs to start tightening up their borders, it's more like a prophecy, right? Thank God that they were actually arrested and sent back so that the panics and all that would reduce. And to other countries, you guys should be a little bit careful on trespassing. The last time Nigerians did that, they seized their soldiers for weeks, not until the president succumbed to pressure and he begged. That was how they got Nigerian soldiers released back to Nigeria. Now they have Burkina Faso, but thankfully they got released immediately. Please let me know what you think about this whole thing in the comments. If this is your first time coming across my face today, my name is Uju. You're welcome to Uncut with Uju. Don't make your last by subscribing, and I'm going to see you all in my next video. Bye guys.